Oh, hi. I was just planning a little route, actually. I wasn't planning any route. That was the worst intro to any video, wasn't it? I apologise. But a lot of you have been asking me to do a video about how I plan long rides, so hence why I'm at my computer. So I thought I would share the things that I do for long rides. So I reckon let's just get straight into it. First off, I should say though, long rides are relative to the rider, so I guess for me, this is the amount of detail that I would put into something that I was going to do, like long ride, like anything over like 350, 400k I would say, unless it's an Audax. Audaxes are completely separate because they are pretty much arranged so that you're going to go past food stops, because they are this is the main two things of when you're planning a long ride, are the route itself and where you're going to get food and drink from. The route, obviously you can plan that on a couple of different websites. The main three I would say are Strava, Komoot and Ride with GPS. I've used all three, I still use all three, but I'm on Strava today, so let's get going. Let me just record my screen. QuickTime Player. Also, I should say there are generally two types of people I have found. One are the people that just wing rides, the other ones are the ones that meticulously plan. And I am of the second option. For a long ride, I will spend hours planning a ride just to make sure that I'm all good to go. So basically, create your route, figure out where you want to go. I want maximise elevation. And I definitely prefer paved surfaces. That's one tip that I would give if you are wanting to do a road ride. Make sure whichever route planner that you're doing, it is set to road. I've made the mistake before, and if you generally do touring, it sends you on canal paths, and I hate canal paths with a passion. I think mainly because if you are doing it in the dark, I don't want to be in a canal path on my own in the middle of the night. That is not for me. I'd rather be on a road where there's going to be lights. So click that. So basically, I'm just going to create any old route. So let's go. I reckon let's head over, I don't know. Let's go this way. Let's keep going. And this is different for everyone, but for me personally, I will try and get a stop in every 100k, or have somewhere to be able to buy food and drink every 100 kilometers. So that might vary if you're in somewhere that's quite remote. You might need to do it at 80k or 120, but for me, I know that I can ride for 100k and carry enough food and drink for that distance. So, and it's going to vary. If you know you can ride, 150, 200k with your own food and water, then by all means go and do it. But for me, I like just to have that 100k. So basically, yeah, you just plan that. So for example, let's see where I am. Let's go towards Grimsby. Right, so for example, on this one, let's zoom in. Actually, this is done pretty well. So for 100k, it's pretty much in Doncaster. So what I would do then is I would zoom right in and I would reroute the route around a shop. So I did this when I did All Points North last year. So I will zoom right in and I will find a shop or whatever and get to that shop. But also what I will do is I will actually not just check online, I'll actually ring the shop up and say, just making sure you're going to be open at said time, because what I will try and do is estimate what time I'm going to be there. So in my little notepad, I'll make a list of the first stop that I'm expected to stop at, what time roughly I'm going to be there, the contact number of the place, the name of the shop, and their opening times. Just for example, if I get a flat and I'm running a little bit behind, I know, I'm not going to take the notebook, but I take a picture of the page so I've got it with me. So I'll know if that place is going to be open and how much time I've got to play with. So I find that really works very well. Another thing that I will also do is I will check Street View. So if I'm going to do a really long ride, I will check every single road that I'm going to ride on Street View, because there is nothing worse than getting on a road and thinking, why the hell am I on this road if it's really busy, for example. Even though most of the route planners will take you on the most used roads, I know Strava does anyway, but it's all relative to how comfortable you feel riding on, say, A roads. So for example, I will go on Street View, and this is a road that I know I did not like riding on. This is the A9 in Scotland. It was brutal, and this is why it's good, because on this road you can see, like from the pictures, obviously it was raining when this was taken, you can see there's no hard shoulder, there's no little bit of, you know, bike path at the side that you can ride on, and it's a really busy road. So seeing that, you just think, oh, I don't really fancy that. So then I'll reroute around it. And I think that it is quite a long process, but there's nothing worse than of being on a route and having to reroute when you're already on it, or just not being comfortable riding on that road. So I would recommend everyone do that. If you wanted to go on a really long ride, just check all the roads that you're going to be riding on. And then the other things that I will do for a long ride are check make sure that I've got everything for the event of any mechanical. So for example, I will take a speed link, which is in case my chain snaps. I will take a tyre boot. I will take a spare derailleur hanger, and I will also take a credit card and about 20 quid in cash, just in case you need to, I don't know, get a cab, a taxi, if you need to get a taxi home or a train or something like that, then that's always worth just having with you. So I think that is basically the rundown of how I would do a really long ride. And like I say, for Audax, they're pretty much they are self-supported, but the controls and stuff, they're all pretty stock. They know that there's going to be a garage open. So I think Audax is a great way of kind of dipping your toes into doing longer distance self-supported stuff. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. So I hope you found that helpful. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will see you next video. One time I'm filming that, I want it. The internet's acting up. Come on, Strava. Cover up my password. You won't guess it anyway.